message.
Your guests tonight are Ingress and Jan Zubíček. Welcome to the show. The Q&A will be open for questions throughout the show. If you know someone who is very bad with this /CTF_. Like, watch past episodes, and subscribe to our channel. And now, your host of
Right. Good evening, everybody. My name is Andrew Krug. I haven't been here for a while, so it's good to be back. Of course, now our cameraman and our host from Mexico are sick, but that's okay. You can't have it all, right? So, welcome to episode 32 of Behind the Scanner. Our guests tonight are both time travelers because they're joining us from Tomorrowland. Anybody watching from North or South America, we can ask them about lottery numbers because they're already into Friday. Let's get started and let's meet them. Our first guest tonight, I'm going to butcher your last name, so I'm just going to call you Jan from Prague, Czech Republic. He is known in-game as Resistance Agent T-Bach. So with that, everybody give a warm welcome to Jan, will you? There he is. How's it going, man?
Oh, it's good.
Are you awake?
Yeah, it's not very good, but it's good.
You have enough coffee to keep you awake? Is everything okay over there?
Yeah, I just don't. I'm just trying not to fall asleep.
Well,
We'll
we
try to
definitely
keep it as entertaining as you can make it.
Absolutely, yes. It'll be exciting, good times. So, before we get started, can you do me a favor just one time? Can you pronounce your last name for me? Because I'm American and I don't get all of the little symbols above, and I don't want to kill it. So.
Yeah, it's rather easy. It's Zubíček. You can try it.
Zubíček. Okay, that was easy enough.
Yeah, easy.
Okay.
Right, so Jan, I hear congratulations are in order. Is it true that there is going to be a new team member on the way?
Yeah, I hope there will be a team member, but I will try to keep the baby from Ingress for some time, at least 3 or 4 years before it learns to read and something. But I hope that my wife will join the ranks of resistance, because I've noticed when we are picking the pram that it's beautiful equipment for agents. You have the compartment designed exactly for car battery, and you can also buy a holder for beer. So I think you can go around hacking and everything.
Oh, funny. All right, well, we'll get to some more of the Ingress gameplay in a bit, but before we do, I wanted to ask if you have any other hobbies. I mean, do you play cards, run, knit blankets?
Well, I had cards. It's not about that I can't play it, because I don't know whether I can play it or not. I hate it. I would love to learn knitting, but I'm really bad at manual works, so it's running for me, as you mentioned. I've started a little bit late when I was 28, and I needed some sport, so I picked running because I live next to a park, and I needed a goal as well, so I've started to run marathons.
Wow.
Wow. How many have you run?
Yeah, but the bad thing is that the marathons, they usually go through the cities, but it's really hard to run a marathon and hack together.
Okay. I was going to ask
nearly
that.
impossible. Because in Prague,
actually, there is a player that ran the New York Marathon, and he ingressed while he was running the marathon.
and what was his time?
Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
There are too many people at the New York Marathon. I don't know. There are like 40,000 people, so it might be a little bit dangerous.
True. Good point.
I guess with that many people, though, you're kind of going slow enough, especially at the start, that it wouldn't be a problem. But
the start is a problem, and with the bigger marathons, the whole part is a problem. Unless you are one of the Ethiopians or something in the beginning, so you have a lot of space there.
How many marathons have you completed?
7 so far.
Wow, nice. That's really cool.
Yeah, I hope I will keep running until I die, because every time I start, there are people like 30 years my senior, and many of them beat me. So I hope I have a lot of space to go better.
Yeah, good luck.
If they're that much older, you just have that much more time. You'll catch up to them, and then they'll start being slower at some point, right? So. And also with a new baby, not only do the strollers they make everything perfect, as you can put stuff in them, but also the baby will keep you up at all hours of the night. So a really good way to make a baby go to sleep is you put him in a car seat and you drive him around the city, and they will fall asleep in the car, and then you just play Ingress. So
yeah, this sounds dangerous a little bit also, but I will try that.
It works. I promise you.
Okay.
So, right,
Thank you.
let's get back on topic. So let's see here. You mentioned to us actually when we were talking about the show and everything that you try to use gaming principles in your line of work, and it's kind of curious to me because of what I do. So I'd like to know, what do you do, and how have you implemented the ideas like that into your work?
I work as an analyst and consultant for software systems for banks and insurance companies, and a lot of time you make something and you need to get people motivated. And well, I'm a gamer and I game, and why do I do that? Because it's totally meaningless thing, and still people do that. So I've get to gamification, this set of principles that try to look at games, the principles of them, the motivation why people play them, and it tries to implement them into non-game context, like, for example, selling insurance products and everything. So I've studied a little bit, and now I'll try to apply the principles, and also I've started a work group at our company, which are Slovakia and Czech Republic, to try to implement it better. And so, because so far it was not a focused work, and I would like to make it more focused.
So interesting.
I hope so.
Yeah, no, it absolutely is, and I'd like to go on with that. But in the meantime, some of the viewers might have some questions. So for those of you watching, please remember to submit your questions for Jan by clicking the QA button, and we will be answering them live in just a little bit. All right, but now my question, I've got to go, like, speaking of going on topic, let's go to Ingress for a bit. It's, you know, no transitions, but it's how you roll. Talk to me about the Helios anomaly that was held in Prague. What was that? You know, what was your role with it?
Yeah, I was the primary contact for Resistance. It kind of fell off me, so my first job was to find someone I could delegate it to. And then I found that guy. He lost a lot of time, more than me. So we had two insane months together, and I've tried to focus mainly on communication with people and marketing the thing. And I wouldn't believe before that communication can take so much time, because it was like it was killing my job, it was killing my private life and everything. So it was a really good experience.
That okay. I'm glad you still think it's good.
Yeah, learning experience.
A sign of a good leader is always a person that knows how to delegate correctly. So, nicely done.
That was a big problem.
I can imagine. Well, speaking of Prague, it's a place that's on my bucket list to go to because I think it's, from all the pictures, it's beautiful. My brother has been there and he's got a lot of great stories. And it's often referred to as the Paris of the East. So, how many foreign visitors did you have to the Helios anomaly that you were just talking about?
I've tried to count it, but it's too hard because the forum we had, it's not very structured, so I couldn't count it exactly, but I think it was really over half. There were people from Poland, from Germany, from United Kingdom. I would forget many countries. I think there was one person from United States as well, and it was over 300 people from all around Europe. For resistance, I don't know about Enlightened, but I think it was really the same.
That's pretty impressive. Did you expect that many to be coming from all over the place?
Yeah, our first goal was to have 100 people. Then we beefed up it a little bit to 300, and we would never imagine it could be 600. We had two guys processing the applications, and they made it full time for, I think, 4 or 6 weeks.
Wow, that's crazy. So a good time though, because it's hard to have a bad time when you have all those people there, right?
Unfortunately, I wasn't at the action itself.
Yeah, you were a little bit away. We'll touch on that in maybe a little bit, but yeah, you were off to the side. So keeping in that same vein of questioning about the Helios anomaly, rumor has it that you were voted the favorite Smurf among the Prague Enlightened. So I guess I'm not sure maybe if that was because of the Helios anomaly, but I've got a couple questions, multi-part question for you about that. So number one, is being voted the favorite Smurf amongst the frogs a good thing?
Well, okay. Should I answer right away, or will you
answer that one first?
Okay. I really don't know because it was before Helios, so I don't know how Helios impacted it, and maybe it was just that they only know me, so I just come before everyone else. I don't know. But it didn't hurt me much.
Well, that's good. So my follow-up question would be, do the resistance treat you differently because of that? Everybody likes to keep things secret and compartmentalized, so I didn't know if that affected anything.
Yeah, sometimes it's when some Enlightened agent comes at our farm, it's like you are selling us out for basters, don't you? So so I get it all the time.
Ah, so you do get it.
Yeah.
I guess
no change before and after, so I don't know.
You gotta stay true to who you are. So the third question I guess I have related to all this is, what is the cross-faction relationship like in Prague?
Well, I wouldn't lie, so it's not perfect. We had a bad start, and I think it was mainly because of assumptions we had of each other, and not or how to say it, we let our ideas of some players affect our feeling of the whole group, so we are trying to get it better. I think it works a little. It's not about being the enemy anymore, so I think it's going to be all right in the future.
That's good. Time heals all wounds, doesn't it? At least that's what I'm told.
I hope so.
Hoping, definitely. So have you played outside the Czech Republic? And if so, what's been your favorite place to play Ingress? And why?
Actually, I don't play much outside of Czech Republic because when I go outside of Czech Republic, it's for another reason than Ingress. It's for a marathon or for a vacation with my wife. So when I play Ingress, I steal the time from the primary objective of my visit. So I usually start the scanner, but not it's not a very focused work. The favorite place probably was in Slovakia, in Košice, because I ran a marathon there, and on the start there was a blue L8 farm, so that was favorite place. So I was just waiting for the start and hacking the portals. It was before Glyphs, so it was easier.
Okay.
Nice.
So if you don't mind, just sort of like more of the historical context, because I mean, maybe I'm just old enough to remember when it was Czechoslovakia. So, how are what are relationships like between the Czech Republic and Slovakia?
Actually, I work for a Slovak company, so I have these relationships every day, and it was always like brothers. We were together for, I don't know, 70 years from 1918 to 1992 at the end of the 1992, and I think the both nations like each other, but for some reasons we split apart.
That I'm sure have nothing to do with the actual people who, or the actual citizens, but yes, something far more above than we have any control of.
It's always about politics, isn't it? Somebody's got an interest somewhere in something.
Right, exactly. Well, yeah, and very interesting history there. But all right, so Ingress. Not that many players have the ability to create missions, but what are your thoughts on topics? I'm sorry, on the topic of missions, and anything interesting that you've come across?
Yeah, when I've first been invited into beta, I've seen a big promise in it because I think Ingress stagnates a little bit, and the user-generated content it could give a new objectives to people and new goals and to motivate them to play more. Unfortunately, I hoped for some more tools in missions to be added before the missions were thrown among general public. Now many people have access to Mission Creator, and most missions that are popping out are without any theme and mostly without picture. It's like hacking on my way to work and so on, and I don't think this helps much. So I hope something will change, at least the review process, which is usually very bad in Ingress. We all know about the portals and how it goes with portals, and I'm afraid that with missions it's going the same way. And if Niantic find some way to put community into the review process, it might go better. We might have missions that will motivate people to play more, to get to know their surroundings better, and so on. So I hope this thing will grow.
Yeah, no, you bring up a really good point. So, I mean, especially about motivation. I mean, what motivates you and keeps you going in the game for the long haul?
Yeah, I'm mostly the social guy. I'm introverted, but I'm social. So, yeah, it's a little bit of paradox, but it's who I am.
You like a good party, that's all it is.
Yeah, exactly. If alcohol is included, yeah, and. So I play it mostly because I like to meet people and interact with them, and also learn about people and what motivates them. Because if I go back to the gamification, this game also helps me to understand better how people think.
Well, speaking of how people think, do you want to take some viewer questions and see what people think about maybe you or the game?
Yeah, we can try that.
Let's give it a shot. I think the first question comes from our friend Jorge. Here he is. So why did you decide to choose in the Resistance?
You need the accent.
I can't. I'm just going to insult him if I do the accent.
Yeah,
so why did you decide to choose the Resistance?
Yeah. In the beginning, I was thinking about both factions, and finally I went with the story, because I describe myself as a liberal, and the philosophy behind Resistance resonated with me better that time. I know that it was big before Ada went mad and everything, but story-wise, I'm more with Resistance.
So, a personal question and to follow up on that, was it the story that you read on like the intro screens, or did you actually research the investigation board and all of that? How did you become familiar with the story in the early days?
I've tried both. First it was about the intro, and then I went online and tried to research it a little bit. I must admit that I didn't give it much time, because it would. I don't know. Back when I started, there was already a lot of material to read.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. There's a lot of material to read, and it wasn't really organized. Well, I take that back. Yeah. The investigation board had it organized pretty well. But all right. So another question is, what is your favorite mission that you've been on to date? And maybe I'll ask this. We'll do this twofold. Mission in terms of like the new mission things you can do and earn a badge, but also mission of something that you guys have planned. Maybe you had some crazy thing you had to get in a kayak or a boat or something, I don't know. So user created missions and also your sort of organic ones that you don't get a badge. What are your favorite ones of those?
I believe the person asking this must have seen my stats, because I have one finished mission so far, and that one is mine. So, so
nice,
that was definitely my favorite mission, because it was the only one. For me, the missions there are so far there are only the hack and go missions, or mostly hack and go missions, and these don't interest me much. And I wasn't abroad since or in other cities since the missions went online. Well, I was in Bratislava, but the nearest missions were in Budapest, so I couldn't play that. And did you say the not the mission, the missions as the missions, the newly created ones? I think a really funny part was during 13 Magnus, when we were secondary side, and we were going like crazy from one side of the highway to another one way, because Enlightened, they will throw the field now, so we have to go. Oh, no, they won't. So we went back, and we spent I don't know how many kilometers running in one direction both ways. So that was really funny.
A little bit of a Benny Hill there, where you're going back and forth.
Yeah.
So,
you're showing your age here.
Hey, everybody knows who Benny Hill is. Come on, that's classic.
Even me does. But in Eastern Europe, we get everything later, so maybe this is why.
Nice. All right, well, a follow-up question is, what aspect of the storyline drew you to the Resistance? You mentioned the storyline, but I guess what specifically, what part of it sort of intrigued you?
Yeah, what specifically? The way I understand Resistance is that Resistance tries to let people have freedom, think, unlike making some unknown influence, or or basically it was how I understood it when I joined the resistance, and this is how I feel normally. So this was why I joined resistance.
That makes sense. That makes sense. I could see that early on. Yeah, definitely.
All right. Any more, or I kind of would like to get into kind of one of our more dangerous traditions here.
It's all good. It's all good. Take it away.
All right. So we do have a slightly dangerous behind the scanner tradition. So in the spirit of the show and highlighting the people that play the game, we give each guest 60 seconds to talk about whatever topic they want or show off whatever talent they want.
To be fair though, you don't have to take up the whole 60 seconds.
Do not.
So.
There's no way. You know what? You could just sit there and look pretty, and that's quite all right too. So anyway, feel free to take it away.
Okay, I tried to get ready for this, but I couldn't. So I don't know, something like Christmas message to people to be nice to one another and to understand their motivation why they play the game, which is probably, I hope, fun. So don't try to take the fun out of the game.
That's a really good message. Yeah, don't try to take the fun out of the game. I like that. Well said, my man. Well said.
Good point.
Thanks.
Well, hey, thank you, Jan.
I
appreciate it.
I didn't use the whole 60 seconds, sorry.
That's okay. I mean, if you want to keep going.
It's simply an offer, and we're really grateful to have you on the show. So thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me. Thank you.
All right. More than welcome. All right. Well, let's see here. Get everything geared up. Since everybody's out sick, I'm having to do multiple things. Bear with me. It is that time of the show where we do the code of the show. And this time, it's going to work. And bam! Wait, there's two! There's more! So the codes of the show are shareable, limited, redeemable codes, meaning that they're good for maybe 10, maybe 5,000, maybe 500 redemptions. We have no idea what they hold. We have no idea what's in them. I guess congratulations on your level 1 bursters if that's what they are. If not, I don't know. So, somebody took a picture. That's smart. That's really smart, Jan. Take a picture and share it around.
I better see my little code chats here.
You're supposed to be talking. You're not. We're moving on with it. In fact, you're the next segment right now. You have to introduce it. Hold it down. There we go. There we go. It's going. It's going. It's going. I'm sorry.
Well, we have the picture. Thank you so much for taking that. All right. So yes, another feature of the show that we have started now is the Weekly Truth with members of Operation Essex. And I'm really excited to introduce a former BTS guest that unfortunately I had to miss last time, so I'm so glad to have him on. This week it's Yik Sheng from Kuala Lumpur to catch us up on what's going on in the Ingress storyline. So everyone, please welcome Yik Sheng back to the show.
Welcome back, Yik Sheng.
It's good to be back.
Yay!
Yeah. We love chatting with you. You're just like you're a font of knowledge. So, yeah, welcome back. Educate us. Tell us what's going on this week.
Well, there's been a lot. Basically, the Denzier, Hank Johnson, and Ada. These 3 topics have come up throughout the week, and it's been sort of like pretty much. I don't know what to say. Basically, right now, Hank, if you notice, Hank just signed off and then said that he has gone away for some kind of contemplation with and posted a mandala picture. So from that post, yeah, and all the posts that have been sort of like posted on Google Plus for the whole week, basically it has been from the day when the Han Johnson escaped from Antoine Smith during Operation Restriction 2. It's like they purposely let him escape and fall into the hands of a lady, a beautiful lady, Jahan. I'm not sure if you have seen her picture.
No.
Oh,
yeah.
I want to.
Yeah. Basically, there was a lot of intel leaks concerning conversations between unknown people with Smith. They were sort of like colluding and planning to allow Hank to escape because he is the key that needs to be used. He needs to go back to the nest, the 13 Magnus sanctum, willingly, yeah, in order for them to obtain something from the nest. And somehow they plan it, these organizations working for Hulong and working for IQ Tech and perhaps Vizu as well. I guess members of the anti-Magnus must have infiltrated these organizations, and somehow they got together, and then they say, okay, let's allow Hank to escape and let him feel safe in the hands of this beautiful lady, and let him be changed and be turned to sort of side with the Nazir, because Hank Johnson previously has concluded that the Nazir, the Dazana point, must be stopped. The beacon must be kept dark because Hank believes that the destroyer is like the Nazir, and if the Nazir are allowed to come back, then humanity will be in danger. So basically, he was in sort of like in Jahan's place, and there's a lot of literature, ancient literature, basically about Hinduism and also Buddhism, and Hank learned a lot about it. But somehow Jahan seems to have captured his heart, and somehow he's turning him. Did you see the latest surveillance video?
No, I did not.
Video, no.
Well, you must watch that. Basically, she is not. She was initially thought to be just a normal civilian, but actually she's not. All right, she's most likely working for Calvin, I believe. Yeah, or with the anti-Magnus, and basically, slowly she's changing his views, and then basically, to turn Hank into maybe less negative towards the Nazir. And with the latest post, it seems that Hank has somehow sort of like pictured himself needing to escape from his simulacrum body, and perhaps he might be, willingly, going back to the nest, to the sanctum, in order to free himself from this body of his, so that he can free himself from this recycle and this recursion. So if that is the case, then the anti-Magnus has, they have succeeded in changing Hank already.
So would he then? He wouldn't. I forget the term. He basically wouldn't go away for a cycle. He would be mortal. I don't know how else to put it. Is that right?
Well, basically, he's a simulacrum now. Basically, he's an immortal. He will recycle himself, every 1,331 days. All right, and he will forget everything within that period of time. So I think basically with the latest post, he's saying he feels loved and secured in Jahan's arms. So basically, he's saying that it's time to sort of like stop fighting. It's time to take a rest. It's time to contemplate. And I'm really afraid for him right now, because if he goes the other way, we wouldn't have any more truth seekers actually.
Ooh. So basically what you're saying is, let's see if I get this queued up here, that there's a woman out there.
Yes, that's right.
And it's a
Her
trap.
name is Jahan. Yeah. It's an entrapment.
Why the women always trying to change us, man? Jeez, man.
Listen, it's the cycle of life. Just deal with it.
It's a weakness. Yeah, I know. All right. Oh, well, you know what though? There was the Eve symbol and the whole Eve thing, and now Johan. This is interesting. Now you got me thinking. All right, we'll leave it at that for next week and see what happens. But
Yes.
excellent. Thank you, sir. We really appreciate it.
It's coming on. It's so great to see you on here again.
Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, thank you. It's always.
Well, our second guest tonight has an anomaly coming up soon. So why the heck is he talking with us? I don't get it because, yeah, I know how time-consuming these things can be. So, but please welcome Andrew Smith, also known as Agent Schmizmo in game.
Hey, welcome, Andy. How's it going?
Yeah, good, thanks.
And actually, so to clarify things, so I don't answer questions that Daphne asks you, you go by Andy, right?
That's right.
Okay, all right. So when Daphne starts asking me about New Zealand stuff, I'll refrain from jumping in. That's okay.
I'm more the expert on New Zealand.
Yeah, probably. Although, again, we got people from all over the world, and you two guys are from places that are on my bucket list. I got to get to Auckland. I want to get to Auckland. So, all right, enough about me. Let's move on to you. So, during the 32 episodes that we've had BTS, which, wow, it's been almost a year now. We've spoken to a lot of interesting people, and we've actually interviewed Godzilla, for those of you that don't know, which was fun. Didn't even realize he was Godzilla, but now that I think about it, it makes sense. But I think you're the first certified genius that we've had on the show. So what is it like to be a card-carrying member of Mensa? Do you get any discounts at stores or like half off at McDonald's or something? I don't know.
Unfortunately, no. It's basically a community like any other where we kind of all get together and we'll have meetups, and it's just really amazing to see like-minded individuals with high intelligence and see what we have in common. And it's really bizarre that I think the thing that we do have in common is that we all have very varied interests, and we all like to try new things. Whereas I guess there's like a lot of people that would take up photography or travel or stuff like that within the groups. So it's just really good to get together and hear all their stories.
Would you say that they're more creative, I guess, maybe, in their passions and their hobbies than
I
your
would say
typical
they're
average
more kind of, more creative and just more willing to try new things.
Interesting. That makes sense, though, I guess. So, not that I don't believe you. I do. You seem like a trustworthy guy. I've known you all for like an hour now, right? So, I'm going to give you a little test, though. If you really are that smart and a member of Mensa, answer me this question. There's at least one 9-letter word that contains only one vowel. What is it?
Okay, well, as an intelligent person, I would say that that's a question for Google.
No Googling allowed!
But something like strength, that would come to mind.
You're correct. Good job, sir. Yes, that is it. So.
Nice. Okay, I just gotta tell you, Mensa is hot, and I really wish that because I took the old version of the SAT, there were some weird logistics as for me like getting my application into Mensa. But those of you who got in, I mean, kudos to you. So very awesome, and you need to let me know when you guys have meetups here in the DC area.
Nice.
Anyway, but Ingress, which is what brought us all together here. It's a nice dovetail to some of your other hobbies because you enjoy being outdoors, and you're pretty active from what I understand. And so when you're not playing Ingress, how do you enjoy spending your free time besides like solving really cool puzzles and being as genius as you probably are?
Well, I'm really lucky in that living in Queenstown, we have 2 really fantastic ski fields around. So every winter, me and my son go snowboarding. And quite often we bring his friends with him. It's really good fun. We've got a couple of submissions pending on one of the ski fields, and one of the other ski fields has a portal already, so that's another motivation to go there. But yeah, we just go skiing, or we go for walks up the mountains and just enjoy the countryside.
Nice. I like it.
Is that where the hobbits live, up the mountains?
It is, yes. We have many spots around here that Lord of the Rings was filmed in, and there's a few up in the North Island as well. So if you come to New Zealand, you really can't miss Lord of the Rings. Wherever you go.
So very cool.
By the way, I'm not sure if you know this, but there was a floating hand over your right shoulder just a second ago.
Oh. I might have to introduce a floating head a bit later on.
Oh, please do. Please do.
All right. Well, in getting to know you a little bit, you call yourself a technology addict, and that you like to tinker. So, I guess the question I have for you is, what are some of the things that you've sort of created or developed or tinkered on? What are some of your more favorite things?
Well, years ago, about 4 years ago, one of the things that I developed was like a life blogging type of thing. And what I could do was take my laptop and connect it up to my GPS that I had at the time, and just display images as I was walking around town or going to work. And I could just
very cool
a webcam to that and display my webcam online. It was all really kind of leading edge at the time, and now you think, well, it's just kind of normal technology. But yeah, one of the things I did was I went to game releases in town of like StarCraft or something like that, and I'd be wearing my backpack with the webcam on my shoulder and just live blogging those type of activities. And going back to Jan and his running, one of the things I like to do was like marathons myself, and I was doing the Christchurch half marathon, and just kind of live fed my marathon running from that.
That's actually interesting. When I was I wrote for an Android blog a while back, and one of the things I wrote about 4 years ago or so was life caching. And so you were doing sort of life caching before there really was life caching. I mean, I think that's where things are going to go, where you're basically going to be recording just about every interaction, and everybody you talk to, you'll just be able to pull it back and sort of view it again. So kudos for being, I guess, forward-thinking enough for pushing the edge of technology.
Yeah, from a technology aspect, it was really kind of what I was really interested in, and what excited me to try it. But yeah, it is really fun to have all that kind of archive back on and say, well, this is me doing a half marathon, and this is where I was at the time.
Especially when you start getting to my age, because the memory starts to go, and I need pictures. There's no way I don't even know what I had for breakfast today. I don't know, or yesterday or the day before. In fact, I'm not even sure what my name is, because there's another guy here named Andrew. But all right,
here you are.
Yeah, unfortunately, the good thing about the green screen is you don't really see the grays that are in here, the big patch. But anyway, all right. So Daphne and you mentioned earlier that you like outdoor activities, do a number of things, and so I imagine that in the early days of Ingress, the portals, like many places, were just far and few between. So what was it like for you to play back then?
Well, it was a real struggle. We had about 3 portals in town when I first started playing, and basically one of them was up a 350 meter vertical rise up a really steep hill that I actually got my Guardian off, funny enough, and it became part of my lunchtime routine that I would run up this hill and then do a couple of hacks and then run back down in time to try and get back to work.
Wow, that is impressive.
Yeah, how steep was that?
What was the grade on it? Do you know?
We're looking at kind of at the steeper sections. We're looking at kind of 1 in 3 type climb.
Oh yeah. Okay. That's not trivial for that distance.
No, definitely not. I leveled something similar, and yeah, it's not fun, especially after many happy hours. But anyway, all right. So for those of you who are watching, please remember to submit your questions for Jan, or I'm sorry, for Andrew and either of the Andrews by clicking the QA button, and we'll be answering them in just a little bit. All right, so I guess it's time to brag a little bit. Of all the stats you have accumulated playing Ingress, what's the stat that you're most proud of?
I would definitely say it's my longest link. It's something that ever since the earliest days I've been really pushing. So I was like the first one in New Zealand to link over 1,000 kilometres, which was an opportunist link from a level 7 portal to from Queenstown to Auckland, and that survived probably half a week or so, which was
Nice.
a great pleasure for me. But yeah, ever since then I've just been on creating long links, and I'm a bit of a sharpshooter, so I'll actually look for opportunities where I can find remote portals to link to, and I've linked to Australia more times than I can count now, and that's probably 1,900 plus kilometres, so getting up there. My longest link was during an anomaly for Auckland when they were a secondary site, and we had a mission where my family joined me down in Stewart Island, and we linked from Stewart Island to Vanuatu, which was about 3,200 kilometres.
Wow. All right. That brings a whole new definition to dick links.
Yeah, definitely. Big dick.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know. That's an expression we use locally where I play, but yeah, just more of like people who just link to wherever they can as long as they can, and kind of that whole philosophy that the longer the better. But yeah, that's some quality, that's for sure.
Excellent. Well, one of the things in getting to know you, because you and I, although we haven't had a formal conversation, we go back and forth on posts on G+, quite a lot over the last, I guess, gosh, it's been going on 2 years now. So I know that you were part of Operation Lockdown, and I don't know how much people know about that, because it kind of happened a little bit right before Lighthouse and some other events. So can you talk a little bit about what Operation Lockdown was, how it actually came to me, how it came to be?
Lockdown was it was like Appleseed when that came out, but it was just like about 6 weeks beforehand.
Sorry, Appleseed, yeah.
Yeah. So we had an operation where we got about 300 simultaneous links and nearly 400 in total into the Arrowtown jail. And leading up to that was a lot of me sitting on a stone bench hacking the Arrowtown jail week on week on week. And I swear that it's actually got my imprint on that stone at the moment.
That's a lot of keys. That's a lot of time.
That was significant in that we got every major centre in New Zealand linking into Arrowtown, and we also got about 30 odd links from Australia over at the same time. So in total, it was about 120,000 kilometres worth of links into the jail, which I think is probably right up there.
Wow, that's amazing. How? I mean, I assume you hack it, you get a key, you probably put it in a capsule. I mean, Is it just maddening? Is it just sheer love of the game to sit there and hack and do that over and over? How do you keep yourself from losing your mind in between that? I guess I hope you put cooldowns on it and multi-hacks, right?
Yeah, I had a good supply of heat sinks and multi-hacks during that period. And generally speaking, nobody comes around very often, so I could place a mod on quite happily for a couple of weeks without it disappearing. But this was in the times about halfway through capsules came in. So before that, I was having to drop between 100 and 200 keys before I started hacking.
Oh, wow.
And then pick them all back up at the end.
Wow. Don't you wish there was a way to just kind of highlight a bunch of things and just say pick up or something like that?
Yeah, seriously.
I mean, the capsules are convenient now, but still. Anyway, all right. Let's see. Let's talk about New Zealand a little bit more, because I would imagine that New Zealand, like many countries, probably has a lot of rural areas. And given how you described the gameplay in the early days, I'm sure you know all about the issues that can affect rural players. So what are some of the issues, I guess, that you're passionate about, that you can identify with, that you want to advocate on behalf of?
Well, yeah, I am a real advocate for the difficulties facing the rural players. And I guess one of the things that we miss out on the most is that we just can't get the same level of badges as somebody in an urban centre would get. And you look at like portal density as it is now. If you live in a large city, then you have a gold waiting for you for the explorer and the likes. Whereas in the rural place, you have to travel hundreds of kilometres to get that. So I'm all for new badges that would suit more rural players.
Yeah, you bring up a really good point. I mean, I noticed that with when the top 1,000 players were listed a couple weeks ago, many of those players happen to be big city players.
Yeah, that kind of only makes sense, though.
I suppose with the opportunities, but sure, there are certain advantages that people in rural areas may have, kind of like size of fields or length of links or whatnot. So I don't know. Thank you for bringing that perspective.
It's not the size of the link. It's how many MUs you captured. No, that's not it. That's not quite right either.
True. I feel like a lot of them. Anyway, all right. I don't know if we've talked about it before, but you're a web developer by trade. And what are your thoughts on the Intel page and the ongoing debate about IITC or other non-stock Intel gathering sites?
Well, I've probably gone on at length on this in the main Google Plus communities. But I don't personally use IITC, and for me, it's mostly about privacy and respecting people's location, and the fact that the terms of service say we shouldn't be giving details of other agents to third parties. So that's kind of where I draw the line. I don't mind people tracking portals or developing tools to create like multi-layered fields or stuff like that. But yeah, I personally, having a son that plays the game, I don't want them tracking people's journeys as they're playing Ingress, and I don't want people kind of going, well, we're expecting an agent in 10 minutes, so what should we do? So that's kind of my philosophy, that, you know, the portals are okay, but don't track the agents.
Yeah, it just popped up in our community again. Every now and then somebody will ask sort of what our community stance is on it and everything, and it's our community abides by the TOS, and the whole technological debate aside and how it interacts with the Intel page is really a layer in JavaScripting, blah blah blah. There's something that people forget. Brian Rose was on Behind the Scanner not too long ago and mentioned that third-party plugins content is basically against the TOS, so kind of use at your own risk essentially. But I mean, there is a clause that states that access to the product or content through any technology or means other than those provided by Google is basically not allowed. And it literally says content through any technology or means other than those provided by Google. And last I checked, IATC isn't provided by Google, so again, use at your own risk. There it is. But Ingress knows about it. They've already said no. In fact, you can go back and watch the video on this channel and find that stance. So, moving on, I guess. So, to a lighter topic instead of IITC, which I'm sure we could pontificate about in a long, long time. What kind of player would you describe yourself as?
My gameplay is normally very strategic, so I don't usually go out and do anything unless I have an actual kind of plan in mind of how that's going to benefit either myself or my faction. I spend a lot of time on more of the meta aspect of the game, so I'm much more of a coordinator or just like kind of communicating on Google Plus about my my unique kind of perspective of the game. And then I also do kind of a lot of stuff sorting out cross-faction issues, just because I'm kind of in the middle of nowhere and nobody really has an opinion, good or bad, of me in New Zealand. So I kind of offer a lot of objective advice to other agents as well.
So, as Jorge would say, so you're the big deal. You're the guy I need to know who plans all the cool stuff. Kind of a big deal, huh? Okay.
True. All right, but and that's some actually really good tips to be able to have someone. And Jorge's admitted his city's one of them, or locations where cross-faction relationships can be a little bit touchy. Having someone who's very objective, I guess, I think that's really helpful. So thanks for that tip. Let's go back a little bit, and I'm actually curious about the origin of your name. I mean, it seems close to Smith, but it's just a little different enough that, I mean, I can't totally be sure.
Okay, so my name is pretty simple, really. It does come from Smith, and it's kind of blended with Gizmo, looking at the more kind of tinkering with technology side, and it's just kind of blending the two, really.
So you won't turn into a gremlin after midnight. It's the other kind of Gizmo guy.
I do enjoy a good feed after midnight. And, yeah.
That's good. We'll keep you dry as well. So.
Yes.
All right. Viewer questions. Are you up for some of those?
Absolutely.
All right. We have some of the same ones, so we'll just start off the same way, I guess. Why did you choose the faction that you did?
To me, Enlightened, it's kind of speaking about progress and trying to strive for a more technological kind of world. So that's what really appealed to me. I also did my homework, and I did find out before I chose my faction that there was another blue player in the region at the time. So that kind of aided me in thinking, well, we'll have a bit of competition going here.
You know, that's actually why I picked Enlightened as well, because I looked at the map and I saw blue people around, and I decided to go green. But I was that close to picking Resistance before I actually said, you know what, let me see what's going on around me.
Thank effing God.
So, what was the question? I lost it here as I narcissistically talked about myself. Oh, Mensa. So, do you know anybody else, I guess, that plays Ingress as a Mensa member, and what faction are they? Is there a trend?
I do not actually know of anybody else from Mensa that plays, to be honest. Strangely enough, most of the Mensa people tend to be of an older demographic and not too actually interested in playing on their phones.
Very interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
I would not have expected that. What about? I guess there's a question about your green suit. You like to walk around town in a nice skin tight green suit or something along those lines. Can you elaborate on that for us? I think you just had the picture up just a second ago too.
Yeah.
It is in there somewhere. And that was after the last anomaly. That was a gift to myself that I do occasionally bring out for the odd show.
That was it. Please do not send me any gifts. I'm not sure I want any skin tight outfits.
No, I want pigs to get the fuck out.
It was up there. I saw it.
I believe you. I believe you.
All right. I think we'll let you off the hook with those three. So.
Yes, all right, Andy. But you are now back on the hook in a different way. As we did with Jan earlier, you have the floor for 60 seconds or as much of the seconds that you would like. Feel free to talk about anything, show off anything. You can show off a picture of you in your green suit. Please, by all means, go ahead.
Okay. Well, first of all, I'd just like to thank all the people behind the scanner for the awesome job that you guys do. It's been a weekly revelation for myself to watch, and I really enjoy it. And I'd also like to put in a plug for a community that I help moderate, which is the Rural Ingress community. If you look that up on Google+, then you'll find us. And it's just basically a place for rural players to either vent their frustration or just have a good chat, because it does get very lonely out there in the middle of nowhere, or just discuss the best strategy for playing in that situation. The other thing I'd like to do is just give a quick plug to my my right-hand man, if he would come in for a sec. This is
there he is.
Hi, welcome.
Nice.
level 8 agent Dominator.
Wow.
Very cool.
He was level 8 at age 8, which is probably his Ingress claim to fame.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, yeah, you know what? I remember that.
Yeah, and his other claim to fame is his maximum MU, which is about 20 million.
Whoa.
He has
more than me.
Yeah, you can tell him he has more than me as well. So nice job.
More than
Nice job, Dominator.
of us combined. Maybe not Jan necessarily, but
That's
wow,
excellent.
that is really impressive.
Yeah, Jan's got all this to look forward to in the future.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So Jan's goal, because he's still watching, I can see him, is at 8 months his baby must be a level 8. That's the goal. So, that's cool. That's cool to see families that play together. Nice.
Mm-hmm. Good family values, especially.
Yeah. Take them with me, wanting or not. So they're part of it wherever I go.
Have they enjoyed seeing and finding the historical stuff and the art and going to places they probably wouldn't have never gone to? Or do they just like blowing stuff up?
Yeah, it's taken us probably places special occasions like anomalies, it's taken us places we would have never gone, and we've had some great times. We've seen some things that you'd never see anywhere else in the world, so it's been really good from that perspective.
It's so fantastic. Love having you on, both of you.
Daphne, do you need another second? I'm going to call you out. Are you eating dinner while we're doing the interview?
I'm sorry. It's been a
This
long.
man just put his family on the air. He's got his kid there, and you're chewing.
I am totally chewing. I admit it. I'm going to see my family this weekend for my sister's graduation, and I'm going to be craving my dad's adobo, which is like a chicken and rice version like that we make in the Philippines. And I know he's not going to have a chance to make it, and so I needed some this week before I got to see them and started whining about it all weekend long. So I did my little version, and it gets better the longer it sits. So
Nice. All right.
sorry, I couldn't help myself.
It's all good. It's all good. I just want to make sure. So, thank you, Eddie. Thank you for coming on and spending the time with us today. I guess this afternoon for you guys. What is it? 4 o'clock-ish there, I think, maybe? Did I do my math right?
No, it's getting just after 4 o'clock.
Almost dinner time. Daphne could give you the recipe for the dish.
I have to tell you, it's an easy dish to make. It's just
There you go. She's just got to give you the recipe, and you can whip up dinner quick. So, all right. Well, thank you, everybody, for coming on. We really appreciate it. Next week, we have got Iris. I'm going to crush the last name. Libiorio. Did I get that right, Daphne? From Portugal, Enlightened, and Leon Zhao from Beijing, China, which I'm looking forward to. Looking forward to this one, but mainland China, that'll be a fun one to talk to. So
definitely.
With that, thanks for watching, everybody. Happy hacking.
Yeah, and join us next week. We really appreciate you being here, and look forward to seeing you next week. Happy holidays, and Advent season, and all that good stuff that's happening right now.
It's gonna go. I clicked play. It's white. There we go. It's coming. There's a lag.
And Juan is still up. What is up going on? Get him off mute.
He must. Yeah, it's got to be espresso or something. I don't know.
I know, dude. Seriously, like, y'all wired. How you doing, Jan?
It's 4 a.m. there.
Investing all the visuals and
Andy is exactly like 12 hours ahead of Jan. Jan's just like 4 a.m. in Prague, and it's 4 p.m. where they are in New Zealand.
Yeah.
And they still haven't told us what the damn lottery numbers are.
I know. Hello.
All I can tell you is the
4,
weather's
8,
great.
12.
I bet it's in the codes.